Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought, I'm just wired this way? Like you're stuck being anxious or shy or stuck in the same habits? I've got good news and I've got bad news. Bad news first, your brain is wired the way it is right now. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to stay that way. Today, I'm going to show you how to rewire your brain. Let me start with a true story. A guy named James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, had his face smashed by a baseball bat when he was a teenager. He couldn't see for days. He couldn't breathe through his nose, and his brain was in chaos. But over the next year, he rebuilt himself, one tiny habit at a time. He started lifting weights, studying harder, and sleeping better. Years later, he wrote a book that sold millions of copies because he proved something powerful. Your brain is designed to change, even after trauma, even when it feels impossible. Here's the science. Your brain is constantly building and pruning connections. It's called neuroplasticity. But let's drop that fancy word and think of your brain like city streets. Every time you think a thought or do a habit, you pave a road. The more you repeat it, the bigger that road gets. Pretty soon, it's a superhighway. But here's the catch. You can build new roads anytime you want. That's how people go from anxious to confident, from out of shape to fit, from stuck to thriving. Here's where people get it wrong though. They say every experience changes your brain. Nope. Your brain doesn't change just because stuff happens to you. It changes when you pay attention. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a story about the crazy bumpy drum experiment. Scientists once did a weird experiment. They blindfolded people and had them touch a spinning drum with tiny bumps. Their job? They had to detect the tiny differences in how far apart the bumps were, blindfolded. At first, they all sucked, but the more they focused, the better they got. And then scans showed their brains, the touch center, it grew sharper. But here's the twist. Another group touched the drum, but focused on listening to sounds instead. And guess what changed in their brain? Not the touch center, the hearing center. It was the same drum, just a different focus. Your brain rewires around what you pay attention to. So how do you hijack this power in real life? Let's break it down with some real stories. Let's check out strategy 1. Leverage peak energy at different times, okay? So when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was broke and depressed, he forced himself into the gym every morning at 4 a.m. Why? Because early morning is when he felt most focused. No distractions, no noise. Now he calls it his anchor. You have to find your peak time when you feel alive and clear. Is it morning? Is it night? Or is it midday? It's different for all of us. You have to use that time for the stuff that really matters. Let's check out strategy 2. Attach emotion. Let me tell you about Michelle, a real estate agent. She hated making calls. Total anxiety. Then her son got accepted to a pricey college. And suddenly, her why exploded. Every call was for his future. Within months, she was a top producer of her team. Because emotion flips the brain's learning switch. No emotion equals no real change. Strategy 3. Use visual focus. Your brain follows your eyes. Let's think of Serena Williams, the great tennis star, staring across the net before a serve. She locks her gaze. Everything else fades away. It's total focus. She pinpoints that spot and she mentally focuses and everything else just fades away. Or how about a business example? We have a CEO, coach. He puts a dot on his wall. And before any tough call, he stares at that dot for 60 seconds. It's his ritual to silence the mental chatter. I want you to try this. Pick a small spot. Stare for 60 to 90 seconds. Let distractions drift away. It's like lifting weights for your brain's focus muscle. And then let's dive into another strategy. We call it strategy 4, work in sprints. Even top performers can't focus all day. They work in short bursts. Here's a quick business story. An entrepreneur I know doubled his revenue just by working in 45-minute sprints. So there's no phone, there's no emails. He just did some deep work. and then he takes a 10-minute break to reset. So focus and burst. Let your brain recover. That's how you build mental stamina. Let's look at strategy 5. Rest is where change happens. Here's the biggest secret. Your brain locks in learning while you sleep or rest. Here's a true story. A Harvard study showed that people who took a nap after learning new piano notes play them 35% better than those who stayed awake. Even a short rest lets your brain save new roads, so to speak. You're trying to build them, right? You're trying to lay some new tracks down, pave some new roads. After learning or working hard, take a walk or sit quietly. Close your eyes for 10 minutes and think of this as hitting the save button on your mental progress. Your brain is built to adapt. Let's consider Daniel Kish, a man who's blind. He makes clicks with his tongue and he hears the echoes bouncing off objects. His brain uses sound to build a map of the world. Scans show the visual parts of his brain light up, even though he can't see. Your brain is a shapeshifter. You're not stuck. So let me ask you, what's one thing you want to change this year? A habit, a fear, a skill? Pick one. Decide it's very important to you. You have to decide that it's important and start building new roads in your brain because you're not locked into the old ones. Hey, if this video hits home, like it, subscribe it for more ways to rewire your minds and life. Share this with someone who needs a boost. Drop a comment. What's your new road? What's your new road you're ready to build now? And remember, you're not too late. You're right on time. Let's go.